What a Browns report we have today. If you missed it, a lot to talk about, I think, revolving, Odell Beckham Jr., number 13. So, with that being said, I think I know the answer, but let's have a little fun with it before we get into today's show and unpack everything going on. We'll recap it all, we'll make a little Spark Notes version for you. But first, head on over to the comment section while the intro video rolls. Do you wish the Browns traded OBJ? Y for yes or N for no? Yeah, welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson, and today is going to be a fun show. There's a lot of Browns rumors to unpack. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover all the OBJ saga starting yesterday, November 2nd, Tuesday, the NFL trade deadline, which coincidentally, I'm sure it's just a coincidence, Odell Beckham Sr., OBJ's father, posted an 11-minute video showing all of the missed throws between Baker Mayfield and OBJ so far this season, which has not made things good, I'd have to imagine, in the locker room over at the Browns practice facility and First Energy Stadium. It was already a thin ice-ish relationship between Baker and OBJ. Listen, I'm not invited to their game nights, or I'm not going to the clubs with them, but you can just kind of read the room a little bit. Things weren't all hunky-dory, okay? So it was already a little thin to me. And then, like the Walmart version of LeVar Ball, Odell Beckham Sr. enters the chat and starts up Family Feud. So, a lot to talk about on today's show. We're going to show you all of the Instagram comments, which are kind of funny, honestly, between Odell Beckham Sr. and people defending Baker after Sr. posted an 11-minute video, which was in its own right. You should check it out and watch it. It's on its Instagram account. We'll get to all that later. Just basically coming for Baker's throat. But this has led to what seems to be a boiling point, okay? Josina Anderson tweeted this out earlier today. I'm told Browns wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. has been told he's excused from practice today, per league sources. Additionally, it is my understanding that OBJ was ready to attend practice per usual. So OBJ shows up with his lunch pail, ready to go to work, and the Browns say, you know what, let's have you take a day off after everything that happened yesterday. Now we get this. Just before we started filming, Colin Cowherd, he chimes in with, could potentially have some more OBJ news in Cleveland today. Just got an interesting text. And so that's why I'm wondering, is OBJ getting cut? For me, that's why I put earlier, two Bernie heads. People are talking. It very well could happen. I would not rule it out. Here's the Browns' three current options. So option number one, plain and simple, make it work. You know, put him in a corner, lock him in a room, have him talk it out, whatever has to happen. And by the way, I also just saw a tweet that OBJ has been a complete professional about this, and he's not let it get to him or let it be a distraction to him. So kudos to him, because this definitely seems like a major distraction. So option one, make it work. Option two, release him, which is what the video is kind of all about, right? Should the Browns release OBJ after everything that's going on, and can they mend this relationship and salvage it for just the rest of the season? Because I don't see any way he comes back after this year. I do want to add option two, if the Browns do release him, and GM Andrew Berry, by the way, and him is talking with OBJ's reps right now, trying to figure out some kind of solution. I don't know what that looks like besides either, I don't know, it's not like you're looking for an apology. This is a very bizarre situation. But what I wanted to say was, if the Browns do opt to release him, he'll go to waivers and he'll get claimed, no doubt about it. But whatever team claims him is going to owe him about $7 million of guaranteed money for the rest of the season. So maybe he won't get claimed. Maybe no team wants to pick up the tab. And once he clears waivers, he's a free agent. And then there's a bidding war for him. And any team can sign him. But if they want to get him right off the jump, you can claim him. Kind of fancy football, honestly, right? You see the yellow, it's not green. That's what it's like in the NFL, too. Option number three, you deactivate him. You shut him down for the rest of the year. You make him a healthy scratch. And what this does is maybe he's still on your roster, so you could trade him after the season. But no team's going to offer you a lot, because you know he's not coming back next year if you deactivate him for the remainder of the season. So to me, I put these options in order of what I think makes the most sense, at least in my mind. Having said that, should the Browns release OBJ? The big question of today's show. I gave it 2 Bernie heads. People are talking. Let me know what you think. I'm going to make this the pinned comment. So if you get hit with a YouTube ad break, scroll on down, reply to the pinned comment, then come back and join the video. C for cut or K for keep. So I want to circle back to the Instagram video. The 11-minute video where OB Sr. post a video of all the times Baker Mayfield has missed OBJ open or a bad throw, all the missed opportunities. And by the way, in the background, he's got Everybody Hurts playing on repeat for 11 minutes. So that was pretty funny. But he didn't shy away from responding to some of these comments. I don't know who Young Mufasa7 is. I'm not going to read all of that. But OB Sr. clapped it back with a couple check marks right there. Then we get this one. Now to the one with the dropped passes. All right, Gordon Thomas, you're just defending Baker a little bit. Admirable. OB Sr. has this to say. You mean the 2 drops recorded in the books? Laughing emoji, clown emoji, laughing emoji. Wow. Before we get to the other 2 comments, guys, if you have not already, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe right now. Do it for one reason only, because you're ready for the Browns to beat the Bengals. Kevin Stefanski just had a press conference in which he said there's one thing they're worrying about right now, and that is getting ready to beat the Bengals, putting this stuff on the back burner, or at least behind in the totem pole. So if you're new, come join the family. Subscribe right now for one reason only. If you want to beat the Bengals or if you hate the Bengals, whatever that reason is, we're happy to have you here at the Cleveland Browns Report. Let's get back to some of the comments because my favorite one's coming up. It's not this one, but we all grown. This is what Rods903 had to say. We all grown and we can see what's going on. Hashtag and just real talk. Baker not going to get the big bag because he is mediocre. Hashtag facts. OB Sr. Big facts. Prayer emoji. 100 sign. Flexing sign. This one I giggle at, but I don't like that one. You don't make fun of someone's livelihood. But this is the best one of all. This is what I'm giggling at. Plant Man Stanley. So Eli and Baker are the problem, not Odell. He is talented individual, but not bigger than the team. And now we get this. Odell Beckham Sr. Oh, by the way, Eli and OBJ had a connection. He never talked about Eli except that he was a little old and can't run. Needed an O-line, but they didn't help him get it. Truth hurts, though. So we get a little Lizzo shout-out at the end. Poor Eli Manning is probably just trying to figure out how to put what sock on what foot right now as he gets ready to get just beat over the head on the next Monday Night Football broadcast with Peyton. And he just gets a random blow, that's just perfect Peyton, right? Eli. Even after he's retired, he still gets shots. That face, poor Eli. It also makes me wonder this, before I ask this question. I mean, is OB Sr.'s hit list right now in order? I got down Baker, Eli, and then the field goal net. Like, is that how it goes for OB Sr., maybe OB Jr.? But with that being said, what do you make of all of this? Because if you watch the video, which I did, OB Sr.'s video, the video has lots of good points to it. There are lots of bad throws, which is not new. Then there are some, did you realize that was a missed opportunity? There are a couple, that was a tight window. I'm not too mad at Baker for not making that throw. Could have led to an interception, and the timeliness of the game is important. But what do you make of all of this? Not a specific answer out there for you. Head on down to the comment section, rant, join me, because for me, wait until the offseason, okay? Clearly this video was posted by Senior at a strategic point, the day of the NFL trade deadline, to try and push and encourage a trade. And when that trade doesn't come, now you have an issue because you have the rest of the football season, November, December, and January, where these 2 guys most likely have to work together. And it's got to be awkward to go to work every day and have your number 1 wide receiver next to you in a locker room, and his dad kind of put a hit piece on you as a bad quarterback and said you're not going to get paid. That's got to be tough. So I like to see a little bit more maturity of wait until the offseason, wait until all the dust is settled, and then you can go, hey, it wasn't OBJ's fault in Cleveland. Here's all the missed throws. Don't do it in the middle of the season. That's just childish and immature, and it's not going to help anything right now. What will help you right now is heading on over to our sportsbook partner, BetUS, where they hook you up with a 125% deposit bonus. And all you got to do is go to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Browns125, and you are in on a $100 deposit, $225 to play with. That's pretty good money right there. I'm not going to tell you to bet on the Browns this week against the Bengals. Kind of seems like a coin flip game to me, but 3.5 points in a divisional matchup in a must-win game, which feels like for Cleveland, I don't hate it. Plus, I think the Bengals had a pretty good week last week against the Jets. So, going back to this, though, because this OBJ saga is pretty fun to talk about. LeBron James, because why not, right? What's one more? He chimes in as well. He tweeted this out yesterday. OBJ will show again why he's special. Wide receiver 1, hashtag free OBJ. This is like a Netflix show. This is like a knockoff Outer Banks right now of just the cringiness. Like everyone just chiming in. I saw Marcus Stroman. He also tweeted about it. So it's a head scratcher. And OBJ this year hasn't been good. And the video definitely would indicate it's definitely not an OBJ. And I never thought it was. But 17 receptions and 232 yards. You do not pay someone $15 million to get those kind of numbers through 6 games. And you paid him all that money because of what he did in New York and the trade you make to acquire him. Okay, got some advanced analytics here. But it's important to note. So stick with me here. It says receptions per games. With New York, over 6.5. With Cleveland, less than 4 receptions per game. Then you have yards per game. That's a huge drop-off. 92 to 54. And then you have average, and I think this is the most telling of all. When OBJ makes a catch, he's still getting the same amount of yards. So when he's out there catching balls, it's not like he's going down for dinks and dunks, okay? He's still getting more than a first down every time he catches the football. And then you have the catch percentage, which takes his targets and receptions, and you get this number right here. 54.3% of targets result in a catch. That's tough compared to 62 in New York. And of course the touchdowns. I mean, that's what he was known for in the New York Giants, was ability to be a threat anywhere on the field. Not a red zone guy, not a goal line to 20-yard line. He could play all 100 yards, but the touchdowns has just not been there in Cleveland. To wrap it all up, here's what I have to say. Put your damn big boy pants on. This is the NFL. You guys are grown men. You have jobs, you go to work. People go to work all the time and don't get along with coworkers. It's tougher when it's a quarterback and your first wide receiver, but at the end of the day, one of you is getting paid $15 million, and the other one's out there looking for a big contract extension and is the #1 overall pick and the face of this franchise. You have to make it work for the rest of the season. I don't think you should go out and cut OBJ because these two aren't getting along and because Family Feud happened and someone's dad entered the chat. Okay, you find a way to suck it up and make it work, and most importantly, win football games. I don't care if you guys don't get along off the field. Make it work on Sunday. And it's tougher when you don't get along off the field, no doubt about it. But you have to find a way to get the ball to OBJ on Sunday and start winning football games. Because 4-4 for the Browns is an understatement if I said that's a disappointment so far. Bengals will be a huge test this Sunday. If OBJ's a distraction and you have to cut him because of that, to me, that's a little bit childish. You better find a better way to work things out because OBJ, if used correctly, is a huge asset to this team. You can't just move on from him because someone's feelings got hurt. That's not good enough as an adult to just release someone, fire them from their job, cut them. Make it work. Put your big boy pants on.